What's going on, everybody? James here, readoptionagency.com. All right, let's get into seeing how yesterday was, seeing how today is. So yesterday I kind of was doing a little bit different things just to see the kind of reaction. I had a pretty good day up until about 5 o'clock, and then after that it just seemed to kind of bottom out. I'm not sure what was happening. My stuff was buried. eBay was having issues. I'm not sure. But something definitely happened around 5 o'clock. Normally at 5 and 7 I notice a lull. Or between, 5 and 7-ish. I had to think. But it never really seemed to rebound. And it was more drastic. And then overnight, I think in 8 hours, 12 to 8, I only sold like 4 items. So it was kind of weird, but it's kind of picked up this morning, so not too bad. Just not as consistent as normal for that little bit of time, but I can't really complain too much overall for the past, 3 or 4 days. So everything's going in the right direction. So I was playing around yesterday, and I was putting up, because I'm playing with the idea of putting more items up at $13.99, even if it's something that's collectible that I know I could get a little bit more out of, just to get more interest into my store, get more people maybe following my store. Like here I got 4,055 followers, maybe just to get more people paying attention to my stuff, and then maybe that'll drive more traffic overall as a whole also, and people not knowing when I may put up a great item for, half of its value, if you will. So I'm playing with that idea. I'm playing around with my lot ideas too, since my auction thing didn't work out. I put some up at $13.99, buy it now. I think I might have sold one, I believe. And then I also put some up at $19.99. I think that one sold. So I'm playing around with different price points just to move stuff quick, because like I said, I want to get 100 $13.99 items sold a day. And when I say $13.99, that's just my starting point. I know I've got sales and stuff like that factor into the case. And then that also doesn't include what I want, like my shoes and things like that. So my higher price items. So those would be like my bonuses on top. So I'm kind of trying to separate what I put up for the high value and what I sacrifice at the $13.99 price point. So I'm playing around with just different things. Haven't been listening too much again too. I mean, I'm more playing around trying to move more product than I am right now with concentrating on solely listing, because I know once I get back into the groove of really listing, it's going to bring my numbers up, because I'm only concentrating on $13.99 as opposed to everything overall. So I did some 8-tracks this morning because my lots of 8-tracks seem to be the quickest and best moving things at full price. So I found a box of 8-tracks, and I know I've got tons more in storage that I can't get to right now, but I might go try to climb in there and see if I can pull them out. So I did pull out some decent 8-tracks for $13.99 and higher, and then I put the rest in a box for a lot of 20. So yesterday put up a couple visors, a few hats, VHS, DVD, more hats. And here's some of that I was playing around with. $13.99 lot of cassettes, a couple of 45 lots for $13.99, a pair of shoes for $13.99. I also went in, because I was putting up this vintage Nike sock hat. I was going to put up for like $30. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice my vintage Nike stuff to see if I can move that stuff quicker and cheaper. And I had 14 hats in my store that I had priced from $25 to $50. I went in, marked them all down to $13.99, and have not sold one in about 15 hours. I'm like, that's odd. So I'm playing around with different things, and things are just not working out as I planned. I expected to sell a few, at least. It's because some of them had like 11 watchers on them, and I'm like, maybe they haven't been told yet that I marked down the price. I don't know how soon those emails go out to watchers when a price goes down. So I'm not getting the results that I thought. And I also took these 4 shoes that I had at various prices, some vintage Nikes in the store, up to $150. Threw them at auction for $13.99. Going to play around with that. I doubt I'm going to go that route with shoes starting at $13.99 because you really do not get the value of auction stuff. But I did test one here that I picked up yesterday. You saw in the last video. So I did get that one up, put it up for $13.99 to see if it goes anywhere. And then the other one I put up at $50. So here's some of the hats, or this hat you at least saw in the video yesterday. I think there's more in here too. Yeah, like this Levi, this one. So here's some hats you saw in the videos yesterday. Even though they were, I feel I could get more out of them, I'm putting them up at $13.99 to try to see if they'll sell quicker and drive traffic. But hasn't gone as planned. And then we got some vinyl. I was able to put that up for $100. Some skates I picked up the other day when I went over there. I actually went over there to the bins. So let's see what's sold. Alright, so this I put up yesterday, so that's sold in less than 24. Here, and this was a vintage Dallas Cowboys Nike hat. I'm like, well, this is going to be part of my sacrifice. See, and it didn't move overnight. And somebody sent me an offer for $8. I'm like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Somebody's not buying it for $11. I'm like, I just took the offer. I'm like, fine, whatever. So it's kind of, I don't know. The traffic situation is just, it's odd to me right now of what's going on. I mean, I will sell, you know, a hat that has really nothing on it for $11, but somebody's sending me an offer for $8 on that. It's like, okay. So it's hard, it's really hard to read common stuff, I guess. And even collectible stuff, I guess. Right now, it's just, here was that hat lot I tried, was a test run for $20 to see how quickly it moved, and it moved quick. So I'm debating on taking my hat lots from $29.99 down to $19.99 to see if they move. Even though it's less than $1 per hat, I was still trying to get $1 per hat, but I'll wait a little bit and see how that works out. So I put this up a couple of days ago. That sold. I'm trying not to overthink it. I'm just trying to play with different ideas. You know, there's not a desperate feel or anything, especially with what I've been pulling in each day. It's just trying to improve the speediness of the sales. I'm trying to find a sweet point, if you will. This was an item I marked down. I had in store for $25, marked it down to $13.99. It's finally sold. Because like this cassette lot, it sold. I think they sent me an offer for $18 on it, so I took that. So I'm right now, I'm just going back and forth on that fine line of where I set my final prices on my lots and such. So playing around. Then my Rams guy came back in. He bought this. And a couple of other things down farther, I believe, if they're showing up. Because he bought a hat that's not normal. What was the hat he normally... Maybe it's down here. Yeah, that G.I. Joe Cobra hat he bought. And then I think he bought these two also. So I was surprised when he bought the Cobra hat. I'm like, what? Really? But, so we had this Purine. I took an offer on that. I don't remember what I took. 25, I think. Like I said, I just want to move stuff. So, and then here's a hat lot that sold at my normal pricing. So it's like I said, I'm trying to figure out that sweet spot I don't want to lose out on the bigger sales, but I also want to move stuff quicker. So and maybe just playing around with it is the thing to do. Do a little bit of both, if you will. Some of them at normal price, some of them at the lower price. Maybe that's the ticket. So here's an 8-track lot that sold recently, yesterday. And here's one I probably could have got more out of. Marlboro hat, put it for $13.99, so it sold within 24. My goal is to sell more items in the first 24. This one sold within the first 24. And one of the auctions that ended. Another item I marked down to $13.99. And then you saw these. I had 2 of these and a different colorway. So I used those as a sacrificial lamb because I knew I could get 20, 25 out of them. I marked them down to, or I put them up at $13.99. I sold all 3 of them pretty quickly. So I don't mind that because that's a quick $30+ in your pocket, especially when what he spent yesterday was probably a total of $40. And to make, if those are the 2 correct receipts, so to make back, that one was 60, right? So 60, and then maybe, let's just call it $80 then. So to make $30 back just like that off of 3 items, and then I had to cancel that and relist that. They wanted to cancel. Another 8-track lot, so that's why I went ahead and was working on some 8-tracks this morning. As much stuff as I got and as much stuff as I can get cheap, that's why I know a lot of people, a lot of resellers might be, getting mad that I'm like really undercutting them because I know some of the stuff I check and it's like somebody's got it up for $25. I'm like, well, I'm putting mine up for 13, and that's more just to move it quick, So hopefully it doesn't sit for long and bring the value down overall. It's just about moving stuff quick. And I want to take advantage of the fact that I got so much and the fact that I can get so much more for so cheap. This was another one I put up I knew I could get more out of. You saw, I think that was in the video yesterday, the last video. So the NFL starter hat, and that sold almost immediately too. So there was like $40 right there of the 60 that you saw in the last video. Here's the other one. Another hat lot that sold at my asking price. Here's that other pipeline hat. And I put this up yesterday also, so that sold pretty quick. And then we are back at the last video. So that was $40 made of that $60 video I put up, right? Was that in the video? I know I put it up yesterday, but I don't remember if that was in the video or if that was waiting to be listed. I think it was waiting to be listed. So, yeah. Let's see where all the numbers are. So, today, right now it's 11:30 a.m. Central Time. And I'm sitting at 450. So, good start for the day. This was over 8 yesterday, I think, or at least yesterday evening. So that finally got to 8. So yesterday was kind of, I had that, like I said, I done 800 at 5 o'clock I had 800, so I only done 336 from 8 p.m. my time till that would be 2 a.m. would be California's midnight. So it kind of slowed down pretty good after 5 o'clock and didn't really pick back up. Not until about, I think about 8 a.m. this morning is when things started rolling back in. And then for traffic, today, so 27 items sold, 16 promoted, 11 organic, so nothing terribly off there. So all these numbers today so far are looking pretty normal, where I'd like them to be. All right, remember I just told you about the whole knocking down the vintage Nike hats? Finally one sold. That I had listed for, I think that one I had listed for about 40 bucks. So, and I marked it down to $13.99. Because my goal was to knock down, since they all had watchers and all had decent amount of watchers, if I mark down 14 hats at $13.99, I can make a quick 150 bucks before midnight. That was my goal in marking them down. It didn't happen. It didn't even sell one until just now. So I'm just looking at it as, instead of having 500 sit in my store that might sell whenever, if I can turn that into $150 in 24 hours, I might as well do that. It's going to benefit me more right now as opposed to sitting on it. Because who knows what I got in those boxes. I could have 14 more rare Nike hats sitting in boxes that I can't even get to right now. So, or he may pick them up today at the bins. So that's the way I'm kind of looking at it. So yesterday we got closer again back to our 2 million total impressions at 1.8. Only 64 items sold, but we still hit $1,100. So not too bad. Better, I think, average as opposed to the 2 days prior. 29 organic, 35 promoted. A little low on the promoted side. A little light on the promoted side. As I was doing about 20 to 30 more on promoted. But I think that external site view is going to be off. They'll probably adjust like it's done other days. And no Posh sales overnight, but I haven't really listed anything yet this weekend. I was supposed to, but I haven't. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna show the Nike hat. There it is. So that's the one that just sold that I had. So I had it up for $69.99. Marked it down to $13.99. Finally sold. It's been up since June. So yeah, just testing a bunch of different things. So if you are in a buying mood, you may see some stuff pop up and you're like, why is he pricing it so low? Obviously, I'm pricing stuff too that if you found these Nike hats, you could buy, if you were looking for long-term money, you can make some money on them. So, playing around, see what's going to work better. I want to get this over, you know, I want to hit 1,500 every day, you know. So, we got 14, 14, 11. So, what will today bring? See, I want those numbers every day. So that was July 22nd. What did we do? So July 22nd was it could have been fall over from the previous day too. So I sold 80 items that day at 1.8 impressions. And the promoted and organic numbers were right percentages. The day before, only 67 at 1.9 impressions. Still, the promoted and organic was correct percentages. Must have just been some good high dollar items that day. All right, I'll go back and look and see what sold around that time period. All right, I'm done analyzing myself. Now, you know, watching these videos, I guess you know how my head works every day, looking at all these numbers. And so if you see things that I'm missing, that I'm not talking about, go ahead and comment below. I mean, I don't know everything, and I'm always trying to look at things in different perspectives. So if you notice something that I don't, or a different way of looking at it, there's ways that I may have looked at it then changed from, or there's ways that I haven't even thought of looking at things yet. So I know some of you, probably a lot of you, watch other videos and stuff. I don't really get around and watch other videos. So if you notice something that I don't, let me know. Because I'm always up for learning. If you're not learning, you're just stagnant. And if you're stagnant, you're not doing nothing in life except being probably unhappy. All right, so that's it. Thanks to everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all that jive. And I will see you in the next video. Later.